Hello everyone, the golf professor's back here at Life Fitness Management, and I thank them once again for giving me an opportunity to speak with you about another one of those little off the rails things for me, routine versus ritual. A couple things that do bother me is when we golf professionals start talking or using words that somehow can be rather vague. And today I want to clear that up. What's the difference between a routine and a ritual? It's very simple. I mentioned it in my book, Golfology, in chapter 8. A routine is something we do without thinking. A ritual requires thought. Well, I know the first thing golfers look at, well, I don't want to think. This is everything we do before we hit the ball. This is before. It's all those little twerks and innuendos that you watch the golf pros do, and I'll go through a couple of them before they hit the shot. But first, let's talk about a routine. Let's just say I have a routine every morning. It's 5 steps, A, B, C, D, E. This is a routine. A and B happen, phone rings. Do I go back to A and B, or do I just jump to C? Well, I would just jump to C. I don't want to waste the time to go to A. So I just jump to C. That's a routine. 5 things. It doesn't matter what order they are. Once again, it does not matter what order they are. That's a routine. Now let me talk about a ritual, and the best ritual I can ever think of was I call the Tiger Woods dead stop. And any of you can remember this, Tiger Woods is in his golf swing. He's right here, and he's going right like that, making his first move, and someone clicked the camera. What did he do? He backed off. He stood behind the ball. He went back to A. He didn't start at C. In other words, he didn't come back to his ball and start here and keep going. Well, a lot of people might think, well, that's kind of silly. Nobody would do that. But that's not the point. The point is, he went back and started with a ritual. He went back to A. So let me give you an idea for a ritual. This is one that I've developed over the years, and I need my handy little metronome here. I suggest you get one. Always practice with one. You can hear that sound, because that sets my pace up. So the first thing I do is I look out, I see, got my target, have the club in my right hand, 1, 2, 3 taps. Grip, stance, set up, a couple waggles, and bang. If you remember, last week we talked about taking a golf swing of action to a golf swing of reaction. What happens if we have the proper ritual, so let's just avoid using this term right now. If we do the proper ritual, our golf swing becomes what? Reactive. My brain automatically goes into reactive mode because I'm going through it. Let me give you another example. It just came to mind. Anybody who watches baseball, if you watch these videos, you know I love baseball. And what do they say? Grounder to second base, that was just a routine double play. Why? Because he wasn't thinking about it. It was reactive. It was called a routine double play, but there was action. In golf, there's no action. So we have to ritualize our procedure. So once again, I see it, I think it, I feel it, and then I act it. So here we go. I got my metronome. That ought to work for a hybrid on number 1 at Cumberland. So the object of today's session is understanding, be very careful with the words we use when we are programming our brain before we're ready to hit the golf ball. Go through a ritual. It doesn't have to be the one I use, but go through a ritual. Make sure it has a tempo, has a timing. It sets you up for reaction that you actually do not think about. Because as you go through the steps, your ritual will end up the same every time. And here's the last thing I want to leave you with. When you do the ritual, all of a sudden, you'll remember when you hit those good shots, and you'll also remember, more importantly, is how to repeat them. So we'll see you next week, and look forward to seeing you next week whenever we talk a little bit about see it, think it, feel it, and act it.